Welcome in everybody to another edition of the preview of the National Farm Machinery Show. We're going to be previewing Saturday afternoon this time. We've got the 4x4 diesel pickups, the 8,500-pound light pro stocks. I think that's one of our most anticipated classes of the weekend. The light supers and the 10-2 pros. Joined by Wyatt Schulte, Jonathan Powell, and Charles Poach. Fellas, how are we doing?
Good.
Another day in paradise.
Ditto.
Man, it's time. We're here. Cannot wait.
Let's just say this is one of the more intriguing sessions just because it's classes you never really see on a double.
Yeah, no kidding.
Besides the main ones.
Yeah. You're exactly right. Yeah, this is an intriguing session for sure. This will be going up on the Thursday Farm Machinery Show week. So we will already be there in person, hopefully seeing all of you guys in person. But we have no idea what the hook order is yet, and that would probably change some of our picks, to be honest. But we're going to jump right into it nonetheless. And here lately, we've been leading off with the 4x4 diesel pickups. And we're coming right down to my home territory for the first one. She's a farm show rookie, going to school at Auburn University to become a vet. Talk about Miss Caroline Counts of Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, the Dixie Ram. This was a vehicle that we were surprised that they got, and we really didn't know why until we saw Caroline in the seat, didn't we, Jonathan?
Yeah, and she, consistent driver. I mean, real good on the Mid-South circuit. I mean, she deserves to be here.
Yeah, she does. Now, she is a 3.6 truck. Don't know if they're going to throw on the bigger Charger for Farm Show. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if they do.
I don't think
yeah, she had quite a few wins this year on the Mid-South Tour. She was a Rookie of the Year for Mid-South. This is her first time indoors. She was the 2023 Pro Stock Diesel Truck Champ for Mid-South. She had to beat out some of those tough ones like Stoney with all of his trucks and Kaufman and Vague whenever they came even. So she's no slouch, and she's going to give the guys a run for her money. One of two girls in this class, actually.
Yeah, it's getting filled more and more with ladies in this class, and it's cool to see. But obviously, Caroline dominated the season in the Mid-South and deserving so that she's in the show. But that name is synonymous, at least in polling in the South and Farm Show too. So I just expect nothing less from them, being as they've known that dirt.
No. That's going to take us to Mr. Kent Crowder, a name that's been associated with diesel truck pulling from the beginning, the Shy Diesel truck. 1 win, PPL champion, 5 PPL wins. He had the 1 win on the NTPA side, the 5 top 5, 7 top 10s. You're a 2020 and 2012 National Farm Machinery Show champion. It's obvious he knows what to do to win it.
Oh, yeah, you're going from a rookie to a vet right there, going from Caroline to Kent. I mean, Shad with Crowder, it clicks.
Doesn't get more OG. He was the second truck in the diesel world to ever be on cut tires in 04. So, I mean, he goes back all the way.
The Superstock class has been around that long?
They didn't call it that back then because they really didn't. There wasn't breakdowns. It was just diesel truck pulling. It was kind of run what you brung and hope you brung enough. And he after the I forget his first name, Mitchell, the Enterprise truck was the first one on cuts, and Crowder's was the second. I got video of it at Indy along the drag strip on cuts. Just hanging some weights off a bar out front, none of the boxes. I mean, it was still a steel body second gen back then, and it was a different world. How far we come.
Wow. And you said that was in 04, so literally 20 years later?
Yeah, 04 or 05, I forget which, but I got the video in the big hard drive somewhere. I do have it.
No, I'd like to see that sometime. That's going to take us to another former champ. Chase Eller, the caretaker, second in PPL points, 3 wins, 2 NTPA appearances, and 1 top 10. He was on Kent Crowder's heels all year long, and being from Lafayette, Tennessee, he's kind of another favorite for me right now.
No stranger. I mean, the dude flat out knows how to drive. He's had success everywhere he's gone. A couple hiccups here and there, but I would say a good showing at TPC this year was where I saw him in person the only time. But he's right up there with Kent all the time.
Yeah.
So.
That is going to take us down to probably the most legendary name on this list, Mr. Van Hazley, the Rock Hard Ram. Whenever you mention Superstock Diesel class, that's another name that immediately goes to everyone's minds, Mr. Van Hazley. Didn't get out a lot this year. They were working on parts in the shop for the trucks and everything this year. He had 3 NTPA appearances from what I could find. All 3 of them were in the top 10, and he had 1 top 5 out of it. I don't remember if he went down to diesels and dark corners or not. I want to say he did. But it don't matter how many times he's been out. He's going to be a threat no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
The Godfather, as they call him.
He really is.
And for a good reason. But
yep. We're going from one end of the age spectrum in this class to the younger side on ours with Aiden Hodges on borrowed time. Couldn't really find a bunch about him. He ran the full pull productions group, the Run What You Brung class. He ended up 6th in the points, made all the hooks.
Yeah, he went out too, I think, with Chase Diamond's group, CS Pulling Productions, which also was basically a Run What You Brung style deal out there.
Okay.
Forget the chassis, what he's got under it. I don't remember if I think it's a Sand Ridge, and he's got a Chaos Cummins.
Yeah. Another one of those Chaos trucks. I think that's one of, I know 3. There may be more that we don't know.
Out of the Chaos group and the Super Cities trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. Aiden being one of them. And then there's 2 below it too. Yeah. They're making some motor changes going into farm show, mainly turbocharger technology. So it's nothing they haven't done before. It's just going back to what they do know. I'm not saying they didn't have any success with the twin chargers, but just making a change. So we'll see how it fares.
That's going to take us into our next one. Brady Ingram, the Shy Diesel truck, your defending champ. Already my favorite to win it, I'd say, to go back to back. He's had a great year. Switching between the 3.6 and the Superstock Diesel class, I expect great things.
Truck
Good
just
kid.
works.
Straight up, good kid. Drives well in both classes, either one, Superstock or 3.6.
Newly engaged, too, if I'm not mistaken.
And I believe that's correct.
Yep. The next one, I would think she's the youngest driver out of the whole weekend. Talking about Jaden Littman. Something to prove. She was second in the Full Pool Productions points this year. She as a driver, as a rookie. The truck obviously is no stranger to the farm show, being the former
Nut job.
Nut job. Yeah, that's it. It left my mind for a second. I had to think about it. She had 2 wins this year on the PP group. The truck was there last year. I think her dad drove it last year, though.
Sean Hodges.
Sean did.
Yeah,
Yep,
she wasn't 16 yet. That happened right before TPC.
Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, this next one after her is a rookie as well. I'll talk about Casey Morris. Runs the OSTPA circuit with the Maverick truck. I really don't know if I've ever seen this one run in person.
I have. It's been a state level truck down there for a good 3 or 4 years. Forget his last name now. Bob moved out to work with D&J from Industrial Injection and helped set the truck up and kind of ran it the first couple of seasons. And now he moved away back out to Arizona. But the truck's been around for a little while. It's a pretty straightforward machine, and it does run pretty well.
Yeah, I think he was 3rd in the OSTPA points this year. And, I mean, they have a tough group of diesel trucks out there. It's going to take us to another truck that was new to him this year. Talk about Keith with the American Pride. 1 win, 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s, 5th in the NTPA points. This was his first year running the Superstock Diesel truck class with this truck too. I don't know really what to expect from him on this one because I think even whenever he's been in the past, it's only with Crosswired, it's been a 3.6 even whenever he went.
Yeah, originally the truck came out of Minnesota. It was Shane Worm's boost truck. And he debuted at TPC as just a black body. Yes, first year with it. Obviously wrapped now in American Pride, but it's gonna be quite a debut for this truck at least because now he's switching to a different turbocharger setup as well, going from twins to triples for farm show. But it ran well all season, so I suspect him to do good, being as he's been to farm show before.
So let me ask you this: with this being indoors and we knowing how they drive it outdoors because they wait so long to finally go full throttle, how is that triple turbo setup going to affect being indoors, you think?
It should light quicker than a big compound. Those two atmospherics will be smaller and they should come up quicker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's usually a lot more predictable. What was that?
Is he the only triple charger we've got?
Oh, no.
No.
Crowder's triple, Van Hazley's triple, Hodges will be triple, Littman's a triple.
Okay.
Casey Morris is a triple. Jaeger's a triple. Most of them are triples.
Okay. I'm just way behind then. Never mind.
Yeah, so Caroline and
she's single.
Caroline and Brady would probably be the only non-triple chargers.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. All right, that's going to take us to Jeremy Jaeger. And the Pipe Dream, the red Silverado body. Out of the Chaos shop, he finished 5th in the Full Pool Productions group. He had a really good showing down Diesels and Dark Horns. I think he got 2nd, if I'm not mistaken, right behind Cummins Killer number 3. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's got the end of the season momentum with him coming in.
Good power plant. Obviously, Chaos can build you a great motor. Been there before. He was there last year, so at least some data go into this year. So. Well, that's the only truck class we have of the session. Now to move on to, I'd say, one of the more exciting ones, not taking anything away from the other classes, but this one's
going to be a little wild.
This one's going to get a little wild.
So technically out of that diesel truck class, there's only 2 3.6s in there, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, that's different than yours past. I remember there being 2, 3, or 4.
One is for sure going big charger because of history.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know what Caroline and them are doing. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me. But this next class, I think this is the one we're all really, really, really excited about.
I would say.
Charles, you're up in the batter's box, my friend.
All right, sir. Kurt Ofdahl leads us off. The Weekend Mistress Machine. Very good year. Finished the Region 3 champ with the NTPA, 2 wins on the year, and runner-up in the Wisconsin Tractor Pullers. I'm sure you saw him quite a bit, Wyatt.
Yeah, this was definitely coming out here for Kurt. Working on this tractor for a couple of years now. Obviously had a great start to the season, going all the way back a year ago at Farm Show, taking the win. Kurt's been competing in the light pro stock class, I'd say, for about 6 years now, and this is the toughest it's ever seemed. And obviously having momentum, winning Region 3, going into Farm Show, and knowing what he did last year, he obviously one of the top threats.
Yep. Next up on the list is another tractor from up in your area, Alan Cook and the Black Thunder. So who finished runner-up in Region 3? That would be this machine with 3 wins to its credit. And who did Ofdahl lose the Wisconsin Tractor Pullers Association title to? Alan Cook.
Yeah, them two went back and forth all year. Not only them, but against some tough WTPA Region 3 tractors and some Badger State. But obviously, Alan's been doing this a long time. Part of that Mondovia Mafia. Everybody knows that term. He's been in the Farm Show, not just light pro stock, been there in Super Farm before, so the data is just a list by now. So out of this class alone, I'd say he has the most Farm Show experience. Yeah. But this class is limited.
Next one up is going to be one that none of us have seen in person. known at Farm Show. Well, unless you're from Canada, you haven't seen this one in person. Hank Dirksen and the Unchained, New Holland. Now, up in Canada, the Ontario Truck and Tractor Pulling Association does have a class that they call, there's a 9,000 Pro and a 10,000 Pro, and they are a 540 open charger class. So they right in line with light pro stock, just a little bit heavier. But get this, he was the champion in both the 9,000 and the 10,000. In the 9,000 had 9 wins, and the 10,000 had 6 for 6 in terms of starts. I'm sorry, 6 for 6 in the 10. In the 9, he was 10 wins out of 11 starts. Just ran the table.
Straight up. Not only success there, he's actually the defending champion of the Keystone Nationals Light Pro Stock class, beating some of the blue tractors that are in this list yet. So, Definitely strong. But being as nobody's seen it at Farm Show before, it's going to be interesting what he takes from Keystone data being indoors, bring that to Farm Show.
Yeah. Agreed. I would agree. Next up is a third-generation driver, Tanner Eads, the After Hours binder. Gorgeous looking 86 series. He is the Indiana Pulling League Light Limited Pro Combo Class champ. They run the 4-1s and the Light Pros together on that tour, and he ran the table and got it done.
Oh, yeah. I know you guys have seen him more in person. Shane, you get to see him in Midwest Winter Nationals, too, so.
Yeah. I always enjoy seeing that one. That's the former Missy's Pissy tractor of Sean Thornhill, right?
Yep, that's right.
And Tanner's no slouch. I mean, look at the last name, though, too. Third generation. Can't wait. It's really cool to see him carrying on the legacy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then we go to Greg Farringer, East Coast Tractor. Smokin' John ran the USA East Tour, finished runner-up in the points with 3 wins on that tour. Plus, I think he did hit some other – there's a lot of orgs out there. You get out into southeast Pennsylvania and Maryland, and there's like 5 different groups, and I started struggling to find more results for him, but I know he was out there running.
Yeah, obviously he did a lot of places run. He has a lot of seat time, so he's been there before, too. He's been to Farm Show, so – obviously, if you have any sort of data going into it, it's always helpful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Did you check Tri-State by chance?
I did not. Well, there's like 3 Tri-States.
One's around here.
Not Tri-State. Maybe it's Interstate.
I looked at Interstate, and actually Interstate does not offer a light pro compatible class right now.
Yeah.
Or at least not
there's
like
an association, another one he runs with. I just can't remember the name of it. It's the one that I'll think of it here in a minute. It's not Mr. Love, but it's Blank maybe?
Dragon Motorsports or
No,
Jersey.
it's on that way. I don't know. I'll think of it here in a minute.
Anyway. Then we go to Robert Levy, a blacked out 88 Series International blacked out binder. Ohio State also runs the 4-1s and the Light Pros together, and he swept the class. He was your champ with 3 wins on the Ohio State circuit. Got to see this one a couple times this past summer, and it acquitted itself well under my semi-calibrated eye. It's a good runner.
Yeah, obviously, I've heard this one whenever we were at Region 3 hooks. They always talk about Robert whenever he wins the OSTPA. Obviously, a tough contender. It's going to be interesting to see. He's never ran against some of these guys, even when they cross over.
Yeah, he doesn't. He kind of stayed, at least this last year, stayed in the sandbox, so to speak, and just pretty much ran Ohio State. He didn't really pick up anything that I could find too much, in either of the Region 2 tours out there. Just, ran for the title, committed to it, and it paid off.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see that because you guys know I'm a sucker for an 88 series sheet metal. So
Not black 88 in this class.
And it's a flat black, but there's plenty of red accents. It's not like Cook's where it's all black. There's red in there.
Yeah, looks good.
It's a little different. That moves us to Ryan Mitchell, the Hostile Environment John Deere, as everybody knows, the Bush Beer tractor. He was fourth on the Western Series with PPL, and on the Outlaw circuit was the champ.
Ooh.
Yeah, he runs in the Southwest Iowa, Northern Missouri area. Obviously, running the Outlaw circuit. Tough. I never got to see him at all this season, in person at least, but historically, it's been a really good running tractor. Obviously, he's shoved in the sand pile Farm Show before, so everybody remembers that one. But especially wrapped in bush like corn.
I have a video of it actually.
Yeah. Now, did he win a session at Hillsboro this year?
Yes, him and Jeremy Plotz were the two winners of the sessions in Hillsboro.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one because this is kind of one that we've kind of become more and more familiar with as we see it more.
Yeah, Devin Riggin, the Bandit Fabrication John Deere out of Pennsylvania. He was the USA East champ with 7 wins, including 4 in a row mid-season. He came up from the A-pump class and decided when they changed the rules this past year to throw the big pump in and keep it. And he's running super hard with it. He should be a threat in Freedom Hall.
Yeah. I talked to him after Midwest Winter Nationals. He said it was not the run he was looking for. He found a couple of things he's adjusting now, probably as we speak.
I know he was playing a conservative at Ship. He only wanted to enter the one class, and just because he knew he was going to NFMS, just wanted to save it, and I get that.
I don't blame him one bit.
But the way that tractor ran at Weeklands at the end of the year to win that pull there, if it runs anything like that at Farm Machinery Show, everybody's in trouble.
I would suspect that the wick is just cranked for Farm Show.
As high as the mohawk on his helmet.
Mm-hmm. That's how high his hair is going to be standing up when it lights.
I think that's how all of our hairs are never light pros for Farm Show.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. We're down to 4 left to cover. Luke Ross, Living on a Prayer, is next up on the order. Your PPL Western Series champ with 2 wins.
Has he ever been before? Don't
believe so.
No, but he does have a great amount of seat time. Obviously, he's ran the Bowsman tractors before. It's where he got started. Living on a Prayer was his build. He's always wanted to go to the light pro stock class. Now he's in it. Now he's doing very, very well. Haven't seen him in any of the indoors so far. I'm curious to see how he adjusts or tries to adapt to it.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever ran indoors. He was supposed to at Ship, and I think a thing called snow had happened.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, that's going to take us to the blue ones.
Yep, from Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, Matt Smith and the Ford Fast Forward, a real hard charger, your PPL Silver Series champ with 2 wins.
Yeah, they had a great year. I mean, talk about guys that have been around pulling for a while and are really getting out of where they originated from, right? Being up there in Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure they originated in the mod turbo class as well at some point.
They did.
But whenever they made the switch, man, they committed, and the commitment from these guys is absolutely second to none. If there is something wrong with these motors, Charles, we've seen it firsthand. They'll change a motor right there in the middle in front of everybody.
Yeah, we'll talk about that with the very next one. But yeah, they committed to the Light Pro. They still have one that I think is sort of mod turbo legal, but there's the other 3 are now full bird Light Pros.
They have 3 Light Pros.
Yep, black and blue was the other one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that brings up Mark Smith with Faster Yet. This is the one that didn't have a name this summer. It was just the Ford 8700. It now has a name, Faster Yet. Silver Series number 2 with 1 win, and this tractor did get a heart transplant inside the building at the Midwest Winter Nationals. And the engines, the tractors really are actually substantially identical in terms of their setup and what they are for engines. The motor in black and blue moved about 45 feet before cracking a hub on Friday down at Shipshewana. So it didn't make the final. And that was a brand new engine, fresh built out of Lemke's stable. And Faster Yet had a couple of hurt pistons. They decided, well, let's change the motor. And in about 6 hours start to finish, they did. They swapped them.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing, too, because they ran one of their tractors that Saturday morning session, and they waited till after the Saturday session was over to even start changing the engine over. But, I
Yeah.
mean, just sitting there and watching them for as long as we did, I mean, this group, they were in sync the entire time. There was never a question of what needed to be done. These guys were going to have it together.
Yep.
Only thing that
Patience.
makes me a little nervous for them is that they've never been. But
Yep. But 2 shots at it, I think they'll do just fine.
Yep.
They don't seem rattled, and that engine swap was a perfect example of that. There were no raised voices, no tools being thrown, just everybody communicating and doing their job.
yeah, there weren't many words spoken was the thing that I noticed the most. Everybody kind of had their own little designated task,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really fun to watch. But we have got one more. Evan Smoot, Barnyard Bandit. What do we have for him?
He's your Region 2 West champ with 1 win on the season. Pretty well down in the Region 2 East. There's so many light pro hooks across the region that they've actually split it into 2 now. But he came out on top in a very difficult. If you top out the Region 2 West, even if you only won 1 time, you proved something because you go down the points sheet there and look at who you had to beat to get there. You did something.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I don't know who to pick out of this group, but we'll have to at the end. So I've got a little time.
Yeah, at the end we're gonna have to, but I mean this one's kind of like there's been some other classes where we're like just draw a name out of a hat and
Yeah, you've got a
you
shot.
chance of being right.
It could literally be any one of them.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Well, y'all ready for some light supers?
Yeah, we're gonna spend some time in Wisconsin, some time out west, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, Wisconsin.
We are everywhere.
Let's
Well-
rock and roll.
We'll kick off in Wisconsin with a man who's no stranger to the sport, no stranger to the track, Josh Blackburn, with armed and dangerous excessive force. He finished 5th in the Grand National points, 12 appearances, 9 top 10s, 7 of those were top 5s. I mean, everybody knows it's a strong running tractor. I mean, you can never count any Blackburn tractor out.
Obviously not. I mean, when it comes to Blackburn and alcohol, it's like a puzzle piece fitting in there. I mean,
There again, yes.
they've understood it for years, and obviously when they come to the line, everyone's like, "Yeah, it's going to light, it's going to go."
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, how many passes down the track, outdoor or indoor, it plays in their favor a big ton.
And they know it. I mean, they know how to set up for that track.
Mm-hmm.
Well, another Blackburn. We got Terry Blackburn with considered armed and dangerous. He was your Grand National points champ this year. 12 appearances, all 12 top 10s. 8 of those are top 5s. He came in with 3 wins, 2 at Rockwell and then Bowling Green.
Start of the season, it looked like a little bit of a hiccup coming out of Benson. They picked it up, and obviously ended the year very well. Terry got on a roll, and if you let Blackburn get on a roll, look out because it's coming like a freight train.
Just steamroller time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and normally, I mean, yeah, there's close wins, but usually you see Blackburn go on out there past most of everyone else.
And that's not bragging. That's just awesome.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is in that aspect of it all.
And it doesn't seem to matter whether it's Josh Terry or Brian Korth in the seat. They just go.
Yep, exactly.
So here's my question: between him and the field sobriety, have they ran against each other at all this year?
I don't
I think so.
I don't think so.
think so.
I didn't have anything.
There's your intrigue right there. They
Yeah.
might come out of the same place, but yes, please.
Yeah, one has to rely on the other for power. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll
But
have that.
nonetheless,
All right, JP, you try to do this next one.
I thought we were going to let Charles or Wyatt.
Frank Boha Boy, Green Lightning.
There you go. He only had 1 NTPA appearance. I believe it was in Toma. He did real well in the Outlaw circuit. There again, I battled with the Outlaw website. Nothing against them. I mean, he had multiple wins on the season. Everything that I could see, if he didn't win, he was on up in the top 3.
Yeah, Frank's been a staple on the All Circuit for years now. Even when he was in the cast series in running both regular light super and up in the unlimited light super, as Outlaw calls it, ran out there a few years. And this year he got out a little bit, stretched his legs a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if he's a farm show rookie. He might be, but don't quote me on that.
I don't believe that he is, to be honest. I think he's been there once before.
We have to do some digging.
Yeah, definitely have to do some digging. Well, time to come back down south. We got Kevin Esri, Evening Thunder tractor that is familiar to me and Shane and the Farm Show. He was your Mid-South points champion with 10 total wins on the season, and boy, did he do it with authority.
Yeah, he did. Man, Evening Thunder's kind of been one of those staple names down here for years, right? Whenever his sister drove and his dad took the reins. Still an original case motor. It's not a complete red engine or anything like that. It's nothing crazy. They do a lot of their own work, and man, it's worked out for him here. And I'm really excited to see them back. I think he's got the power to do well here. They haven't been to Farm Show in a few years, so we'll see how it goes. He did suffer a little breakage at Murfreesboro, but he said it wasn't anything he couldn't get fixed. He said he had the parts laying in the floor whenever he got home. So we will see how this thing goes. And my brother, Brandon, actually drove this tractor this year at Elizabethtown, Kentucky, on the Mid-South Tour and took a win with it. So it's got the power because there's other names that we're going to get into, and they kind of originate from down the Mid-South, and he beat them. So we'll see how it goes.
Definitely an interesting one to watch. Clean tractor.
That's technically Brandon's well, not technically it is. It's Brandon's in-laws. He married Crystal, and Mr. Ricky is her dad. So that's how that's tied together.
Well, we'll go back up to Illinois for your PPL points champ with Bobby Jones and the Field Sobriety tractor. He had 8 wins on the season, and I mean, he was undeniably the champ. I mean, he put 34 points above second place in the PPL points.
Oh yeah,
it was more than that. Well, no, it was more. It was more than most have seen in years, especially in that class. He separated himself, flat out did. Just flat out separated himself from the crowd. So, I don't know if you could have a better year than what he did, really.
Oh, no. He had, 8 wins out of, 10 hooks? Maybe?
A lot. A lot of hooks. Because he also won TPC.
Okay, I didn't know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bobby.
Yeah.
So,
well, that brings us back down to my neck of the woods. We have Philip Lawrence and Over the Edge. He finished 4th in Bowling Green. I believe that was Philip's first time driving there. This is, I know, his first time driving in the Farm Show. The tractor got 2nd in PPL points, and they made a few hooks with the Mid-South, got 2 wins. Normally, you see them alternating. You have Philip, Daniel, and Martin. It's mostly Daniel and Martin, but this year we have Philip in the show behind the seat for the first time.
Yeah, Philip did a lot of the driving, I think, more on the Mid-South side, didn't he? More so than the Champions Tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but he did get 4th at Bowling Green.
Yeah, I think he's also spent a little time in the light limited supers with the Phillips family before they really came out with this tractor. I always thought it was a typo. But now, the more I'm kind of thinking about it, I'm wondering if this wasn't him behind the seat the whole time.
I'm not exactly sure on that one, honestly.
Just some food for thought.
Something to look into.
all right.
We have Todd Mage with Monkey Mayhem Uncaged. The only thing I could find with him was 6th in PPL points. I don't know if y'all have anything else.
This tractor, I mean, he's still working out some of the bugs with it, but it's getting better with every pass. Came to Elizabethtown, Battle of Bluegrass last week of the year, ran really, really strong there. I mean, we had several good light supers there. And I mean, he's getting it figured out. He likes to come play down here, and everybody knows the name Monkey Mayhem.
Yeah. We'll wrap back to the second tractor of the Daniel family. We have Daniel Northcutt with On the Edge. As far as I remember, this is his first time driving in the show as well. The tractor finished third in PPL points, and with Martin behind the wheel, he is your reigning champ.
Now, did they get both tractors in last year, or just the one?
No,
or the
just
one
the
wasn't done yet?
The other one, no, this was the first year that Over the Edges ran the circuit.
Okay.
Because Over the Edge didn't come out right away.
Do what?
Over the Edge wasn't out right away.
Correct.
No. I think they took parts off of it to finish up the season with On the Edge at one point.
They did. Yes, they did. But now, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it's another one of those two-tractor operations. I mean, you have them and Blackburn both.
Yep.
And they're all four, have proven to be strong running tractors.
Yep. We're going to go into another no, not even two. They have technically four, but three of them are in one class, and then they have one in another.
Brandon Phillips with Loud and Light.
Yes, sir. The John Deere that they bought from the Simons. I think this was formerly the White Lightning. If I'm not mistaken, that was originally built to be an open super.
I'm not exactly sure. Brandon finished 12th in the NTPA points with just 5 appearances, 2 top 10s. He finished 7th in Mid-South as well. I mean, normally you don't see alcohol deer thrive in this class, but he's proven that, it can be a front runner.
Yeah, they've kind of had some work done, too, to kind of lighten the tractor up, right? Saw the pictures on Facebook coming out of the shop. The rear end's kind of been redone, and so is the front. And I think from what I was told, that was tied back into that chassis originally being for the open super, and which would explain a lot of the times, no matter how much weight they have on the front, it always just the front end goes up sky high automatically.
Yeah.
So they're going to probably have to tinker with the setup a little bit, but I mean, this will be a good test for it. Good track, good power. Blackburn power plant. We'll see what it does.
I was going to be looking for redemption, and he had a pop last year, so
yeah,
obviously they're going to be looking for redemption with this tractor.
Yeah,
he was on the pass last year too. Whenever that thing popped on him. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, that'll take us to Larry Phillips with Extremely Insane. He finished right in front of Brandon, 11th in NTPA points. Again, 5 appearances. He just had 4 top 10s. He got 2nd at Brandenburg and 8th in Mid-South.
Yeah, the Extremely Insane. Larry's been pulling a long time, right? All the way back into the diesel days whenever he had the diesel light super.
No stranger.
Yeah, we just saw him run this past weekend. As of whenever we were recording this, we're recording this on the 5th of February, so Murfreesboro literally happened Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
Ran good both sessions. No hiccups. It picked up, went. This tractor seems to show up at the farm show more for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't matter what's happened all year long. This tractor shows up whenever it's farm show time.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to take us to a man who's no stranger to the sport, Adam Spiegelbergen, Detonator Black. I mean, this tractor has a heck of a resume. He was 2nd in NTPA points, 12 appearances, 11 of those were top 10s, 9 top 5s, 4 wins, 2 coming from Benson and 2 coming from Brandenburg. He was only 3 points behind first place in the points. And from what I could find, he did finish 3rd in the National Farm Machinery Show last year, and he was only 0.6 of a foot behind Martin.
By anybody else's standard, that's a great season. I think Adam would be the first to tell you he's disappointed.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. I mean, it took like 5 seconds to find everything I needed on Adam's tractor this season. Half of it you already knew if you watched it.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, started off the year really hot after the farm show, obviously leading points in Grand National, and Terry just inched by him at the very end of the year to take the title. But honestly, this dude flat out can drive, and it runs.
Yes, it does. It does. And I remember last year. I mean, they stacked in there at the finish line. It was Martin and Adam and was it Terry up in there too last year?
Bowles.
Probably.
I can look real quick. Look, yeah. Wyatt said it was Bowles,
Mm-hmm.
and they were all within 0.3 of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Talk about Spiegelberg, Detner Black. Guys that came up through the light limited super ranks all those years ago, and they made the step up.
Antique even before that.
Really?
Oh yeah, their last antique is in pieces in a shed about 8 miles from here.
Oh wow!
Oh,
The more you know.
Scott's had a long history of running for years.
Charles, you have all the cool stuff just down the street from you. You know that?
Yeah, the problem is most of it's broken in a shed, not out doing cool stuff. That's the problem.
You still got us one up either way.
I know where some sideshows are that you have.
Yeah, and I got to get on those.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a good week for that. I've got time.
Yeah.
Time? Holy cow.
What does that mean?
Talk about it after the show.
Yeah. All right. One more. We're going blue. Mike Wilhite, Blue Blazes. JP, what have you got?
Well, I was going to say last but not least, Blue Blazes, 4th in PPL points. I mean, this man is no stranger to Freedom Hall. Me and you got to see him, just the other day. And it ran well for the Murfreesboro track.
Yeah, and I mean, so kind of the moniker he's kind of earned here over the last few years, right? It's no secret. The thing would go and then it would just detonate on itself, right? He's finally kind of found the right combo this year in particular to get that thing to go down the track all the way like it used to and like it should. He's been working hard at it, ran really well at the end of the year. Elizabethtown Battle Bluegrass Hook, and then ran good at Murfreesboro, made 2 passes back-to-back. He's going to be ready to rock and roll, and I'm going to guess the veteran's going to have something for these boys.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And, of course, everybody wants to watch because, he's the only blue one there.
Yeah. Now, that surprises me. That's
It does actually surprise a little bit.
Yeah.
I hadn't realized it until you said that, but now it's kind of like, huh.
He is. You have green, red. Well, I mean, you have white too, but green, red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Now, I do remember back in the light super, I think it was like 2004, dude. I think you had like 5 or 6 blue ones in the entire class. You had Pisces, you had Lens. I mean, you had a few others. Bull Rush was in there.
Yeah.
Hoopmans.
Yeah. That was awesome.
They're
Where's
still
all
up.
our blue ones gone? Well, I know where one went. It's green, but where's the rest of them?
They stay kind of in New York now. They don't travel much.
Also in northern Wisconsin and still milking cattle.
With that too.
Cows.
Yeah.
Which only leads me to wonder where's 6-shooter and where's Airborne?
6-shooter is it's registered for Keystone.
Yeah, I know they're out there. It's just like, come on.
No,
come this way.
no, Airborne. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Actually, I don't know that Airborne was out this year, to be honest.
Or no, yeah, because they detonated at Keystone last year, I think.
Yeah. And they're trying
Oh,
stuff because that's one of the Foresters are with Airborne. I think that was the first Ford billet block to be out in Super. So they're trying stuff and they're pioneering it. They did, I think, 10 of them.
wow.
to start, so
Blue. There's a lot of them east.
Yeah. Wyatt, we're starting out east for our next one for the 10-2 pros.
Final session of Pro Stock Saturday afternoon, starting with a white, at least a case. Nutcase, Chris Hoyt. Ran a lot out east with anything in Pennsylvania. The only data you can really find on them for Pro Stock results, TPC, finished high up both times, 3rd and 4th. Other than that, they went to Bowling Green, ran against there, and finished about mid-pack. Strong running case. I mean,
being Case Motors, gotta love it.
Yes, they are
It is-
genuine Case power.
Yeah.
It is one angry little tractor, though.
Oh, it is. It's running hot.
Spitfire.
Yeah.
Go check out our page too
Let's
for
just
that
fire
video from
off.
Bowling Green.
But
I want to be in broadband whenever that starts up and the fire's coming out of the pipe like that. I want to see that.
Right.
Old gal runs hot. I mean, he's got her cranking.
bark.
We'll probably see it there at the finish line. Whenever he gets done, just bye, 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 bye.
Yep.
Can't wait.
No, Hoyt's no stranger to this class anymore. Having 2 in it. Obviously 2 in Farm Show. So
Yep.
Next, we're gonna go the opposite color. We're gonna go black. We're gonna do the black Fendt that everybody loved debuting last year. Craig Ladwig out of Cascade, Wisconsin, the Never Giving Up Fendt. Everybody remembers that debut last year.
I
Oh,
broke the internet that day.
Yeah.
This is what viral looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even over the summer, people were still astonished by him.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, dude. Why wouldn't you be? I mean, it's a Fendt. I mean, nobody else.
And it's,
I mean, there's
mint
two
too.
over
I mean,
here.
it's clean.
It is very, very clean. And if
And
I'm not mistaken, that's a Deere power plant in it, is it not?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
well, Fendts come with deers, aren't they?
That is, we proved that. That is true, and so do
Yeah.
Klaus.
We found the ties.
It's a Lemke powered deer block. Going to be on a new 7 meat toss at the farm show. Craig, early success in the season, had 2 wins in Macville and in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Had main bearing trouble that kept him out until the end of the year, but made out to Bowling Green. Competed everywhere he went, Badger State, Orient CPA, or even PPL Champions Tour. I suspect nothing would change going to the farm show. Speaking of Lemke Power, the next 2 are also Lemke Powers. Esden Lemke, the new generation plus. Everybody knows this tractor.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Love it.
Yeah. Can't have been at farm show for a minute.
Lemke is synonymous in the pro stock class. Obviously, Esden's dad, Robbie, and his grandpa being in the class forever. He had 2 wins on the season, Darlington, Wisconsin, and Highland, Wisconsin. Didn't run a full points tour, whether it was Champions Tour or Grand National. Stayed around home a little bit more, but obviously Lemkes are always a force. Have been for years. Now we're going to go south. John Link, the Revelation Pro. One of the
extreme to the other.
Mhm. One of the only red motors that ever come out of Lemke's Revelation Pro. Ran the Champions Tour points for most of the year. He started off the season real good in Shipshawana after farm show and swept there. Kind of went on a hiatus for a little bit, then come back around Toma time. But obviously, John always runs hard.
I think John and Tim Kane, unless he switched, are the only 2 red Lemke motors out there.
Well,
Hmm.
there's currently 2 Lemke motors sitting on engine stands in people's shops that are for sale. But
Okay.
yeah,
Nice
Link,
plug.
or Kane and Link. But obviously, John's going to run hard.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think he was just outside the finals last year. I think he literally finished 4th in his preliminary last year.
4th on Wednesday night by 1.5 feet.
Yep, we were so excited. We thought he had it, and then he got bumped. Saturday afternoon, I have high hopes for this tractor to win. I want to see this tractor win. There has not been a red Pro Stock champion since 2009.
No, there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
You know who the champion was in 09?
Parrish.
I'm pretty sure the last champion was Warpath, was it not?
He's not true red, Holmes. That's Massey. I'm talking about
Yeah,
Case ID
look,
International.
Red is red.
Tell that to a green guy about Oliver's.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Or any Kloss or whatever.
Tell that to me, for goodness sake, between Massey and Case IH.
Speaking of green, we're going to go out east for green this time. Josh Martin on Think Green. Now, you can't really find much data on them unless you have to dig into the East Coast ones. He did make an appearance in Bowling Green, not what they wanted. They didn't get out much all year, but back to farm show yet again.
Yep.
So next we're going to go to a farm show driver rookie, but not a tractor rookie.
Yeah, Bullwagon.
Bullwagon.
Conley Medding out of Texas. These tractors used to run the Outlaw Tour, and they made the jump last year at the farm show to the big setup, and we saw Conley drive at Chapel Hill, I think it was, and maybe
Conley
couple of
drove
other
most of
places.
the time.
Did
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Connor
Okay.
only made one appearance on it, and that was in Hutchinson, Minnesota. But Conley was the mainstay on it this year. His best finish was 8th. Obviously, they try new things, not knowing the cooler setup, not knowing those tracks. It's a learning curve for them.
I was about to say this whole summer was nothing but learning for them. I mean, the tractor, like you said, the tracks too. So I mean, to still go out there and run and be competitive is still impressive to me.
Yep, absolutely. The next one's new to the class, but not new to the farm show.
Right.
Dan Parkinson, the last straw.
And this kind of surprises me because this is the big Charger debut.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Bowling Green?
Yes. No.
No, it was a 5-0 in Bowling Green
Oh, okay.
because it
He ran that way last
So
year.
does that include Cooler or just Charger?
Both.
both.
Okay.
The last straw originally come out of the Yarg stable out in Missouri. Parkinson's ran the Region 2 circuit with the 5-0. They finished 5th in that point. They had 2 wins on it, but being a big pro now, it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for Dan.
So now is it staying or is it going back to 5 after this?
Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know what they're going to do. I would think
We
probably
can
back to 5-0, but I don't know.
So then just have this motor sitting there for
Well, the motor doesn't have to change. Just take the cooler and the charger off.
Yeah.
There
Be
we go.
interesting to see what they do though.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yep.
Why wasn't their old chassis the one that we saw being switched between trailers in the parking lot last year?
Yep, it was being switched at farm show.
Yeah, we kind of hit that gas pedal kind of quickly and tried to figure out who that was.
Yep. Now you're talking about a guy that hit the gas pedal quick on this pro stock class. Tell us
Did
that.
he?
My gosh.
He's got 2 in this session too. Jason Rowan with the 8360R. This one is the old bootlegger.
What a segue. Nice.
Yeah. Jason Rowan, obviously Farley, Iowa. Farley, Iowa is synonymous for pulling anything anymore.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this one had a little bit of a rough year. I seen him a lot. Obviously on the Badger State side, being close to home, suffered some breakage here and there, but he also had 3 wins in the season, so it's kind of like a roller coaster in a sense. So,
Yeah,
but
there
obviously the tractor can win.
yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
It's capable of it.
Mhm.
He's one of those
industrial-
guys who walks out to his shed and knowing that his hauler can only fit 2 tractors, looks at his pro stocks and goes, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo."
Yeah.
Which one do I want? Do I want green, or yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll mix and match. So, anyway, next we're going to go to a no stranger again. Danny Schmucker in the Rampage.
Danny.
Runner-up last year at Farm Show. Now, 2022 champion for Grand National. This year was damn near a 180.
Yeah.
Obviously not the year they wanted. I mean, the highest finish was 4th all year long. Besides the interleague, they got 3rd, but 8th in NTPA points. Had a few struggles here and there, but knowing the Schmuckers, they're going to make changes and they're going to come guns a-blazing in the Farm Show.
Oh yeah. If I'm not mistaken, he had troubles at Chapel, did he not?
Yeah, that's kind of where it started.
Yeah.
Clutch
Because
problem.
we were there. He couldn't even hardly get off the line.
That was a bad night for pro stocks. Okay, we just forget about that night because the ones that kind of went down, we kind of looked at each other, was like, what?
Absolutely. Well, and the next one, we're excited for this debut too. Not only the tractor, but them themselves. Grayson Shelton, the Classic 1206. One win on the year. One win on the year, 3 seconds. And after Bowling Green, when they debuted it, it was competitive the entire time. I mean, they never finished outside the top 3.
Especially after he got used to it.
Except for one, the non-sanctioned deal at Wagler's where it popped on the line. Other than that, yeah, it was flawless after Bowling Green.
Yeah. Well, crap. Who drove it when it got? Did Colin drive it and got a win with it?
Yeah.
They won Shy Diesel Extravaganza. Got
Yeah,
first and second there. But nonetheless, the tractor is just going to flat out compete, and I suspect no less out of this stablemate too.
Nah.
Yeah.
Why
And
not?
it is the 1206. Is that the old Red Edge Pro?
Yes.
Like 30% of it at this point.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's there. It's there. It's there.
Yeah, it's there.
The pieces.
the color and something else. I don't know.
Yeah, the rear end, maybe some of the body panels.
Mhm.
No,
Maybe.
nonetheless.
Old name. Anyway, now another one that I'm excited to see make his farm show debut as a driver, but the tractor's been there before. Andrew Vorwald. And this is the old buck with no dough out of the ITPA circuit that Rowan had purchased. So this one's had quite a history where it's been in the pro stocks, and Andrew himself having a history of driving very well and coming to pro stock class 2 and flat out just did it like he was a veteran.
No fear.
No fear at all. Him and his brother, both Tim, they drive these pro stocks for Jason. Sometimes whenever Jason just gives them a ride, or if Jason can't make it, but obviously they compete. Andrews won on this tractor before. Didn't win on it this year, but obviously finished second, which is great for guys that don't usually run pro stocks. But nonetheless, I suspect him to do very well.
Yep.
So, well, now to round it all off, Steve Wishmeyer in Whiskey Wild.
No stranger.
No, obviously not. Whiskey Wild, the one that got out a little more this year than barely getting by out of the Indiana stable. I don't know if it was waiting on parts more or less, but you usually see these guys everywhere.
Yeah, and years past you certainly should. And then when it comes to pro stocks, they're about the closest to Freedom Hall. They could darn near drive the tractor there from the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tempt them.
Yeah, right.
They will. Downtown Louisville. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, large farmers too. I mean, how many videos did we give them farming all year long? It just seems like they never stop.
They're never not farming. I mean, that and the
I
Green
think
Elk.
we really got a video of them in Georgia farming this year. I
Mhm.
think.
Yep. But nonetheless, that's going to round out your session of Saturday afternoon in pro stocks. So,
Another good one.
All right, boys. You know what time it is. It's time to tee it up. Wyatt, get your pen.
time to pick them.
How to pick them.
Charles, you're going first for diesel 4x4s.
Well, I've said it every single show, and I know this class is going to be first, and I really stand behind it. I want to know who's number one and keeping it. Otherwise, give me number 3, but we don't get that luxury. So I am going to climb on the horse of experience and take Mr. Crowder.
Of course. Of course.
Ooh.
I was going to go with Crowder as well. Don't worry.
I really thought he was fixing to say Haley.
He's on my list if Crowder went first, but yeah.
I have to clarify which one is Shy Diesel. I have to put KC or BI.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't. Like, hey, you pick Shy Diesel, you win by default.
JP?
Well, I thought about going with Brady, but give me Hazley.
Can't pass up the veteran.
Basic.
You could argue Crowder is the same, but I didn't really say it.
I mean, the man's won it 3 times, so.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
Wyatt, who you going next?
Why pass up the guy that's defending his championship?
Well, crap. Okay.
Shaneth?
Give me Keith. American Pride.
Hey, you might sneak in there and do it. I don't hate it.
I'm not mad about it.
He gonna draw that number 1 spot, I bet.
Yeah, right. And then drop it and then fall right to the bottom.
No, maybe
Yes.
not. Light Pro. This ought to be fun. Wyatt, I think I already know who you're picking.
No, you don't, because there's a lot here.
Yeah, there's really no right or wrong
No.
answer here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I have to go first on this one.
Can.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I keep the rotation going. Went second last time. Again, there's no right or wrong answer here. Give me Devin Riggin.
Dang you.
I mean, I don't hate it. Obviously, he's going to come with a vengeance in there, turn the wake up from Chip.
And it is a strong running tractor.
That is true, sir. Well, I guess that means I'm next. And I don't think you know what we're going to go with here. But I think he's going to avenge his controversial second place from last year. I'm going to say Alan Cook and Black Thunder.
I knew that was coming.
That was my second pick.
Not mine.
Next, Shane.
Charles.
No, you're gonna let me have the honors?
Go.
Well, yeah.
All right. I want Mark Smith faster yet. Engine has 1 1/5 passes on it. It's fresh. It's proven. It's ready.
I like it.
Give me fast forward.
Well, the blue ones are gone, except for one.
I almost went living on a prayer, but I just don't know.
Now, is this one, would light pro stock class be one of the classes that has the most rookies, you'd say, or inexperience, or would that be wrong to judge?
Man, it's up there, yeah.
I would kind of say yes, and that's part and parcel also with it being still relatively new to the farm show itself. But yeah, and because they limit the number of entries, they're constantly kind of turning them over. So like this one in 4-1, you get that. But yeah, I would say so.
Because you run down the list here. Kurt's been at farm show. Alan's been there for years. Hank has run indoors, but not farm show. Same
Right.
thing. Everybody here has ran indoors in some way, shape, or form.
Tanner should be new to farm show.
Tanner, both of the Smith ones,
Laby's new to farm show.
maybe. It's hard to say.
Smooth's not.
Smoot isn't. He's been there before.
No, he was there last year, I
I
think.
could be out of line saying that, but don't really know.
Living on prayers, the rookie.
Rookie tractor, yes.
He's driven there before?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. Anyway, on to the alcohol burners.
I don't think they're okay. Yeah, okay, never mind then. I'm
There's a couple on this one.
we're over the edge, yeah.
You're going first?
Nah.
He's saving his first for the pro stocks. I mean,
I always go first in Pro Stocks. Come on now.
go on, Wyatt.
Whatever, I'll go. Give me the pro. Give me Terry.
Dang it.
Next, gentlemen.
Give me Bobby. He's had too good of a year.
There goes my first two.
Well, you can go on, Charles.
Who's your third one?
A Blackburn
boy.
power.
You know what? Yeah, it's going to be a Blackburn motor, but I got to flip a coin in my head here, and I'm going to go Spiegelberg.
Yeah. I like that.
I like it.
Jonathan, you're going with your hometown people. I already know.
I mean, I got to, and it's a tough pick between the two. I mean, everybody knows both tractors are capable of it, but I'm going to go with a little bit more experience behind the seat. Give me Daniel and On the Edge.
I was gonna say, has Over the Edge even made a pass indoors, and that's including Murfreesboro?
No, it wasn't even at Murfreesboro.
I thought it was scheduled to be there though.
Huh?
Wasn't it scheduled to be there originally, and then something came up or something?
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure them bringing On the Edge was a last minute thing because I was down there talking to him, and Philip was like, "No, this was all Daniel's idea."
Yeah.
Well, now to finish it off.
Go ahead and go first. You've been savoring this moment. I argue you've been salivating it over it.
You mean the 1206 Grayson?
I mean,
I knew your face as soon as I said it.
Next, I'm last, so
Go for it,
Yeah.
John.
Well, crap, I don't know.
I took all your picks.
well, no, there's a couple on
No,
here.
not necessarily. You didn't take all of our picks. It's just, throw it up in the air and see which way the wind goes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you have a general idea of what you're going to do, Charles?
I do, and so now you just made it hard if you're going to make me go first because it's a coin toss between the two of them. The only two names I wrote down out of this session that I would want to pick, and I was going to go for whatever one was still left, but since they're both there, I'm going to go for a Wisconsin tractor that has a John Deere heart, and it's a coin toss between the biggest driver in the class and the littlest, Craig Ladwick and Esden Lemke.
Oh, Lord in heaven.
I'm going to go Esden.
I'm not mad about it one single bit.
I would dare argue that Craig is one of the tallest people in farm show polling right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a tall man. Him and Glenn.
Well, I wanted to roll with the experience and go with Schmucker, but with the season they've had, it's just kind of a hit or miss at this point. No,
Yeah.
Nothing is ever guaranteed, but they've had a rough season, and I really hope that they get things figured out in Louisville. But I'm going to go with Rowan.
You said all that to go with Rowan.
Yep. But
Dude,
my
won a
notable
session last year. What are you trying to talk about?
mention was Schmucker.
Okay, you're taking Jason because he's got two tractors in this.
Yes, Jason.
Okay,
Yes.
just making
Yes.
sure. Well, you left me with experience, and I'm taking Danny Schmucker and Rampage.
Ooh.
And
I really thought you were about to go Link. I'll be
That's
honest.
No,
I really thought you was going Link.
and this
that-
isn't anything against John. You know how that track acts, and especially with having light supers and both diesel trucks before them.
that's
Fair point.
I would say Schmucker or Lemke would have the most experience when it comes to a track at that point in time.
If
But-
Hoyt gets the right hook position, I could see him doing it too.
So
But I had to give him a long, drawn out, notable mention. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Schmucker, it's Rampage. You can't- and I dare argue that I convinced Wyatt to go with him.
I
know. Here's the thing. 1206, the 1206 and New Gen were off the board, and I still have my two picks, and it was between Rowan and Rampage, just because Rowan won a session last year, and Rampage.
Oh, he did.
Rampage.
Ah.
At that point, I'd say that I could have sold ice to a polar bear. It was a long, drawn out explanation and a praise to Schmucker.
Well,
But-
the ice is gonna be half.
I'm a little surprised nobody grabbed Metting though, just because it's Masterson power.
Yes, but
Conley is Conley, but
really
unless-
why I didn't.
I mean, unless Conley makes a test pass on Tuesday,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
I get it. That's a fair assessment right there. That is.
and again, Saturday midday is one of those tracks that it doesn't get better.
No, you put nothing but power through it all afternoon. I mean, the wheels. You think about the amount of wheel speed that's going to be on that track that afternoon.
Yes, and 4-wheel drives are rough on a track, and then you turn around, throw the limited pro, and then the wheel speed of those light supers is just crazy.
Yeah, I think the track will be the worst on Wednesday night for the pros because the modifieds will demolish it.
Yeah, that too.
And the 4-wheel drives.
I think it's more or less the mods, just
It's the-
because
The
four-wheel
mods,
drives don't get
yeah.
enough wheel speed right away.
Yeah.
no, yeah,
But
the
we-
mods trash it.
We have seen the situation, and it bounces back and forth by night and the classes. I mean, I've sit there and watched the track get worse, and I've sit there and watched the track get better as the pros go.
And here's the thing: you take Wednesday night into consideration. Last year, the top three finishers were 7, 10, and 11.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Brew, Simon, Tinkertoy. So
Hmm.
We shall see. It's going to be a fun week.
obviously,
Yeah,
It
man.
always is.
I can't wait. Can't wait to see everybody. Like I said, by the time we're recording this, it's February 5th, so there might have been something that happened or something like that. You know, you never know. And that's just our little disclaimer. Like, hey, if something happened, don't shoot us.
Right.
Well, Shelton's in this section. At least their pro stock would be rolled out of the trailer by then. So the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be the thing.
We'll have that up on the page by then, I'm pretty sure.
But anyway, until next time.
All right, boys.
Next time.
This has been a great, fun series for us to do. This has really been our big coming out for the podcasting platforms and everything. I don't really know if we're going to upload these to Facebook yet, but we'll see for sure. This will be on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio. Any other one that I'm missing? Apple Podcast, Google Podcast.
Google
You know.
Podcast soon to go away and become YouTube Music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, which actually that reminds me, I got some homework to do there myself.
Yeah. Charles, you and I are going to have to work on that at some point.
Yeah, we'll get there, put our heads together, and see what that's going to look like, what the changeover is.
All right. Boys, we've done it. We will see y'all later.
It's been fun.
To the show we go.
That's right.
Welcome to the show.